We are going to be talking about the future of Apple smartphone screens today. Now, Apple, pretty much one of the best phone companies out there. They've always been an innovative company until last year.
Till the last few years, yeah.
But their screens, one of the most iconic things about the latest iPhones is that notch. And people don't like it.
People were hoping that the last release of their phones, the XS, XS Max, and the XR would not have the notch. But unfortunately, it did.
Look at this. Look at this notch. Now, we've seen a couple of other cell phone companies doing different unique things to get rid of it. What does Apple have planned?
It is rumored by someone named Ice Universe. This is a reputable person who leaks information that Apple is working on a similar design to Samsung's recently released S10 lineup, where they'll have a punched hole in the spot where a camera's going to go instead of having this notch design.
So like an Infinity O cutout.
Yeah, obviously it won't be called that because that's Samsung's.
Now, Samsung is the screen manufacturer for Apple.
Yes.
And they have been for the past couple of years, especially with the OLED panels. Samsung's not going to give them the Infinity O.
They're not going to, I wouldn't say they're not going to give it to them. They're not going to give priority to another company over their own lineup.
Now, there have been issues in the past where Samsung would delay giving Apple screens in order to make screens for themselves first, which was an issue with the X when it first came out, the iPhone X. Now, with the Infinity O, it's supposed to be revolutionary. Like, that is Samsung's look right now. So, do you think they would give the Infinity O to Apple?
I think as designs like that become more and more common, yeah, eventually they will.
Eventually.
But
this year?
It's hard to say. And another question that you have to ask is, Apple typically likes a symmetrical design. Like the iPhone X, it looks symmetrical. All their previous phones, aside from like the notch here where the sensors are, it looks symmetrical. So if you have some sort of punched hole in one of the corners of the phone, it's going to look asymmetrical. And that's kind of going away from what Apple typically does.
Now, what I will say to that is if you look at the back of the iPhone,
the back is a little bit different.
is not symmetrical, and they never have been.
No.
So they could, in theory, put a camera cutout similar to the back. But it'll be interesting. Now, they are rumored to be going all OLED this year. That's sort of Apple's new push. You know, the XR, the XS, and the XS Max next generations will be all OLED, supposedly. That means higher price for the XR.
Also, along that point, Apple is working with Samsung, who, like we said earlier, is making the screens for Apple for the iPhone. They are working on an under-panel sensor, which will completely get rid of the notch. However, this technology is not available yet.
Yeah, not for mass production anyway. Now, if Samsung does give it to them, they'll probably jack up the price.
They probably will.
Yeah.
And like we said earlier, they'll definitely prioritize the S10, S10 Plus, and those models over the punched hole of the iPhone and any other phones that they make. So this could further delay the punched hole design on the iPhone. Meaning that is likely, and Ice Universe confirms this, or is speculating that the punched hole design will not be in the upcoming release, September release of the iPhone 11 or new iPhone, however you want to call it, but will likely be 2020's iPhone.
So what are they going to do this year? Is it going to be the same?
Unfortunately, and to the frustration of many iPhone users, it will likely be that the iPhone look on the front will look pretty much the exact same as the X and the XS Max.
Now, one thing I will say from using the iPhone every single day, you're not really bothered by the notch.
Yeah, people make a bigger deal of it than it actually is. But if Apple truly wants to step up their game in innovation and become the innovation king again, they need to do something to get better at either making it a much, much smaller notch, similar to what you see on the Huawei phones with the teardrop.
Yep, the
or
P20.
Something like that.
It'll be interesting to see what they do. Let us know in the comments below if you have any ideas of what they're going to do.
And of course, subscribe if you're new.